everyone to FiTEN Raleigh. I'm glad to be part of this FiTEN team. And today's session is going to be fireside chat. And we have an interesting topic. Intrapreneurs at work, cultivating a startup mindset in big businesses. So the key theme of this event is how large enterprises can empower employees to act like entrepreneurs, taking ownership, driving innovation, and embracing calculated risks while still working with established systems. So now for this fireside chat, we have Mr. Ram Nagappan, CEO of Kickfinity Group. Earlier, Ram was CIO for BNY Milan Pershing. And another interesting thing is he's the co-founder of American Tamil Entrepreneur Association. Welcome, Mr. Ram Nagappan.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Now we have Mrs. Jhansi Kandasamy, Vice President, Advanced Nuclear and External Affairs, the Nuclear. Earlier, Jhansi was VP Engineering Services for General Electric. And welcome, Jhansi.
Thank you.
Okay. So it's going to be a fireside chat. And let's start the questions from Ram. Ram, you are an industry veteran. You have been almost 25, I would say 40 years of industrial experience. You have started from scratch and you have made it to big. So I wanted to ask you, being a corporate leader, why intrapreneurship matters more than ever today in today's corporate world?
So thank you. After the morning ponga and a fireside chat, it needs to be a little more interesting. So let me answer that question, right? Always everybody thinks in corporate you cannot be an entrepreneur, and that is not true because corporates always look for somebody who can take them, and I call them the rainmakers, right? It is always needed, and throughout my career I got the opportunity to be that. And I'm so, that is because of the CEOs that I worked for. See, when I came here for work, that's when I came here. I'm a semiconductor engineer. I came here for work, and I got the opportunity to build a lot of stock exchanges in the United States. And that was extremely entrepreneurial because we had the idea of what to build. So I built New York Stock Exchange, Chicago, and Boston. And then we actually went to build another inside the corporation called DLJ Direct, an online trading unit. And then we couldn't find people. And we said, hey, listen, I want to go to India and have a startup, a people offshore center. So they said, okay, go ahead, do it. And we went and built Inotics in Tamil Nadu because we are from Tamil Nadu. We didn't go for Bangalore or Hyderabad because we are from Tamil Nadu. We just went and built Inotics. We had 20,000 people there. So I wanted to tell you, where there is a will, there is a way. So even within corporation, you could be an entrepreneur and make waves. It's possible. It's a little bit harder, and we'll go through that in our conversation.
Yeah, thanks, Ram. So the story behind Inotics, and Ram was very instrumental in building Inotics. Any Inotics employees here? You can raise the hand. It's good. Okay, now let's ask Jhansi. Jhansi, as an intrapreneur, how do you personally approach your role with a startup mindset inside a large organization?
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me to be here. I'm going to give you a quick my definition of an entrepreneur at home. My mom's a CEO, obviously. And from an entrepreneurship, this answer is a little bit different in that you really develop that throughout your life. So if my mom was here right now, I didn't bring her with me for a reason, but she would be complaining, sari olanga kattala, mudi olanga kattala, poo vaikala, ivlo tools, jewelry, vachirka, onnume pottu poliyanu dhaan thittiட்டு இருப்பாங்க. So from a performance improvement, all of the different applications, you can actually apply it from a home perspective. From a work perspective, an entrepreneur is really somebody that is passionate, that has ideas, can change the status quo, and be able to introduce ideas and make it happen. So I think it's very important when you're running a company, everybody cannot be a CEO. The entrepreneurs, the people that are actually the employees that are performing, are the ones that are going to deliver, are the ones that are going to make it successful. So from a work perspective, if you're an employee, a manager, a leader, whatever the case may be, being able to take chances, being able to do your job the best quality-wise you can and delivering on time, and being able to provide ideas and innovation and thoughts, I think is important. You owe that. Yes, you have your swim lanes, but at the same time, performing your job at its best.
Yeah, thank you, Jhansi. So glad to hear about your mom being your inspiration.
No, he's a real, entrepreneur. You know, what is he going to do? He's going to hire a sari pleating person. And
Well,
get it.
I do have to tell you, wait, I got to tell one more quick story. Ramsar, உங்க பக்கத்துல உட்கார்ந்திருக்க, I was like, oh my God, ஒழுங்காவே saree கட்டல. Devi, I think இங்க இருக்காங்கன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். So I was a little bit embarrassed. Like, ஒழுங்காவே நீ கட்டிட்டு வரல, ரஷ்டா கட்டிட்டு வந்தேன். So thank you, excuse me for that.
I would say if FeTNA have a session for the saree draping,
I would
there
like
would be
that.
more crowd. You know, there's a lot of YouTube celebrities and other things doing such shows. Okay, Ram, next I'm coming to you. So can you tell me a real world example, more in detail? You told about your Inatic story, about your personal experience. Can you tell a success story about entrepreneurship success story in your company? So how did you go through that journey?
Sure. So I'll tell you what we did. I think everybody is familiar about the crypto world. So I'm going to use that as an example, right? So Bank of New York is the biggest custodian. You know, we are one of the biggest custodian. And when somebody has a crypto, they want to look for a bank that can custody crypto assets. So that was the challenge we had. So we said, you know what? Let's go, build a crypto custody. This is just before Coinbase and other guys. So in a crypto custody.
So how many years before?
About four years before.
You're way beyond this, all this buzz.
Yeah, so 4 years before. Now the stable coin is very, very hard, but we'll get to the topic of the question is what happened in this thing. So large companies, I want to tell you, they think they are innovators, but in my opinion, they're not innovators. They're connecting dots, like the Sridhar Vembu who's just said, hey, I just put things together. So that's what we did. We actually went and invested in a company and kind of purchased a company so it gets a bootstrap, and we're able to do it. And I was fortunate enough to run this whole thing and get it done. So what we normally do in the banks is whenever we buy these companies and an idea, we spin them off into a smaller unit. But now there is a lot of other things happening. The consulting company, the so-called companies who thinks they tell other people who are, that already, they go in and they try to make it a bigger company and they're consolidating. That's actually working against this whole culture of having a smaller company and do a lot better. They're trying to become a bigger company. So to answer your question, the recent example was we acquired a company, we spin them off and created a new avenue for the growth of a bigger corporation.
Yeah, that's very inspiring, Ram. So glad to know that you had a bigger role in that. So next, so Jhansi, I wanted to ask you. So in a corporate setting where traditional equity isn't an option, how do you align with your team, with your vision, and create a shared ownership of purpose?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'll give you an example, real life example. I worked in nuclear power plants most of my life, professional life, that is. And in one of my positions, I reported to the site vice president. There was a chemistry environmental department. In that department, they had gone through 8 managers in 5 years. And they were the worst performing plant organization in the entire Exelon fleet. Exelon is a nuclear power generator, and they had 23 units at the time that they had acquired. And this performing organization was below the bottom. You could say 23 is the bottom. Well, they were probably 50. I mean, they were so bad. We had so many fines. We had millions of dollars of fines from the state for various issues. So I was telling the site vice president when we were sitting there, we're having our one-on-one, and he was complaining like, oh my God, I'm gonna have to fire this manager. Again, he's the 8th guy. So he's complaining, and I said, well, you know, if I was the chemistry manager, this is what I would do. Next week, calls me in the office, guess what? You got the chemistry department. And I thought, oh my God. So I asked him, are you going to fire me? Like, is this the way to get rid of me? Since they've been there? He said, no. I said, I think I almost failed out of chemistry 101 in college. And you want me to be the chemistry manager? And he said, no, it has nothing to do with your academic or technical skills because you have the people that are actually going to be doing the technical aspect. We need you to go be the leader and turn that organization around. Year and a half, we became #1 in the entire fleet. And it was because of sitting down with the employees that had low morale, thought they were the lowest, the red-headed stepchild of Exelon. And so they've kind of taught themselves to say, we're not getting any recognition, and we're just gonna I'll go out and do a sample, I'll mark it down, I did my job, and I'm done. But it's to get them engaged to say, do you really like being the worst? Because if you're the best, you're gonna get funding. You're gonna be able to do things you wanna do. You're gonna get the respect from the rest of the organization. And you're undervalued right now. If you make a mistake or if you don't identify something, we're gonna shut that plant down because you're the front line in identifying there's something wrong with the plant, with the work you do. So it's getting them all excited about the job they do, the value they bring, and letting the rest of the plant understand the value that they bring and how important that organization is. So if you want to hear more details of how we got to #1, happy to share that later.
Yeah, thanks, Jhansi, about your excellent story and bringing your team up to performance. Thank you. And Ram, I have the question. So, in your entire journey of 40 years, you have started the traditional way of running a business. So, can you tell me a time frame where there is a drastic change in the culture, mindset to adapt the new coming age intrapreneurship kind of methodology? Can you just give some landmarks which change the culture and mindset of the people?
So let me simplify this, right? In the audience, there are born entrepreneurs. So you're very good. You start with an idea, you raise money, and you go do it. Hard job, not easy. And then there is the other set of people, we call it entrepreneur, a fancy word, nothing but you just got a job in a company. And then you have this great idea and you're actually suffocating in the company to grow. What do I want to do? Can I be an entrepreneur? Well, I am working. So in a company, you are assigned a job to do. You have to do the job, right? Because everybody becomes innovator, what's going to happen to that company? They got to run a business. So the idea is, there are a few people who have a great idea who will, come and talk to their CEO, say, hey, can I do this? Then you have different options to do. Either if you're lucky, they'll spin you off, or they will fund you that you can have a lab and then go experiment it. So there are many ways you could do. Fortunately, I got all the ways that's possible because when I came here, I don't want to age myself, but I came here in '84 and my first salary, $4,000, I went and bought a computer. And that time the computer was $4,000 and still it's $4,000. That was PC-DOS 1.0. And that's how I started my career as an entrepreneurship while working in a company. And it was too early for the game. I shut everything off and I became an employee of a major corporation. It was a comfort living. So the corporation will put you in a path that you cannot jump this way or that way because it's a comfort path. And you'll be going in that path forever. And you have to figure it out. Now, after so many years, I decided to come out of the bank as a CIO, a very cushy job. Now I'm being a venture studio creator. That's what I'm doing. Great ideas. So I spun off about 20 companies now, and that's what I'm trying to make revenue and do it.
Yeah. So if
We
any
need to
startup
talk.
entrepreneurs here, just please feel free to contact Ram. He has a venture studio and he has been running this Kickfinity group. Thank you, Ram, for sharing the culture and mindset shift. So next to Jhansi, so can you share some tools, framework or cultural practices that you have used in your organization, which helped and replicate a startup-like environment in your organization?
Yeah, I've used several tools, but I think one of the best ones that I really, really love is Clifton Strengths. So if you haven't done that, I would do it. The key with using Clifton Strengths is identifying the strengths and the opportunities for improvement of the people that work for you, number one. And you do it as a team, and you do it as a team building exercise. And I've done that with every team that I've ever built. That's one of the first things we do once we identify who's going to be part of that team. The key success to making sure that team is productive, is cohesive and producing, is really pulling them together with their Clifton strengths, and I have their book. Each one of them, what's their strength, what is their capabilities, what are the things that they don't like to do, and then I'll assign positions or jobs in that category, because they're going to excel if they're really, really passionate about it, and that's where they're using their strength. So Clifton Strength is one. The other one that I've used is Simon Mainwaring. He wrote a book, it's called Lead with We, and it's about a collective we, how we're going towards an organization. So in a startup, it's all hands on deck. So yes, you can have a particular position, but in a startup, you roll up your sleeves. If I have to sweep the floor, I'm gonna go sweep the floor. If I need to pick up a call, I'm going to pick up a call. So that mentality or the mindset of a startup is really, I'm going to do everything I can, including if it's not, I don't know, I'll go figure it out. But the Clifton Strengths tool is really, really a very effective tool in leading and managing and working with your teammates.
Okay, thanks, Jhansi, for sharing the tools and frameworks. It's very impressive. So, Ram, next is something a little bit tricky. So, what is that one that kills intrapreneurship?
What is the quality?
What is the one thing that kills intrapreneurship?
The one thing that kills, I would say, is you're not connecting the dots in the corporation very well. Okay?
So, in understanding the politics.
Yeah, you need to understand the big. See, what happens in a corporation, big corporation, is many things happen all over the world and you don't know everything, right? And you try to come up with a great idea, but then somebody somewhere is going to wake up and say, hey, I already do this. What the hell are you doing again? And they will kill it, right? So the corporations, you need to know the entire corporation very well, and you have to be very good at that product, inside out. If you do one small piece in a product, I don't think you're going to be successful in a company.
Looks like it's 5 more minutes. So let's get into the rapid session. So you should take like only 30 seconds. Okay. What is that one word that defines an intrapreneur, Ram?
Rainmaker.
Thank you. Jhansi, what is the biggest myth about innovation in large companies?
Distractor to getting the core mission done.
Okay. Ram, what is more important, speed or structure?
In corporations, certainly speed, because you got more structures than what you really need. The structures needs to come down, the speed needs to go up.
Okay. Jhansi, what's the one habit that every intrapreneur must have? One habit.
Flexibility.
What is it?
Flexibility.
Thank you. We need a dictionary for that. Okay. What's harder, Ram, getting buy-in or executing the idea? What's harder?
Executing the idea. Because buy-in, you only need to convince 1 or 2 people. And they'll say, go ahead. Now you have to go execute. It is not going to be easy in corporation.
I would give the opposite. Good. Yeah, because I think it's really for getting buy-in. Yes, you have the idea. You need the support to make sure you can make that.
I think we should look for a merger of these two companies.
Yes, I agree.
Ram, it's again a question to you. If you could steal one startup trait and embed in your Kickfinity, what it would be?
Startup pain?
That's good. Okay.
Is that what you asked?
No, I'm asking what if you could steal steal one startup trait and embed in your company, what it would be?
Roll up your sleeve and get ready to do anything and everything. You cannot have roles defined. You're not a CEO, you're not a CFO, you're everything in a company.
Okay. So,
Can I also answer that question?
yeah.
Yeah. No, I was going to say anything is possible. The mindset is anything is possible. If there are roadblocks, you can go around it, push through it, break it, whatever. That mindset I love is there's no challenge that can't be overcome.
Okay. So we are almost near to the time. So innovation budget, big pool or bootstrapped mindset?
Well, in a corporation, it's big pool.
Okay.
I don't know, bootstrap is, just forget it. It's big pool.
Okay. And the last question for this fireside chat, what's your quick pitch to someone hesitant to think like a founder inside a corporation?
Why are you here? What value do you bring? Are you jazzed about that particular position? Are you aligned with the mission of the company and the startup? If not, find another job.
Thank you. Thank you all. I hope you had a great session. Thank you, Ram, and thank you, Jhansi, for talking to us.
Thank you, Om.
And I hope you have more time.
Thanks, Mahendran.
Yeah, thank you.